guys, today we're gonna be reacting to Poppy Theory. Did we actually kill the doctor in chapter 4? So, yeah, and as you guys can tell from the first video I made on chapter 4, I did not realize that that Sawyer died, and apparently I wasn't the only one. Like, there's a lot of people who also didn't know he died until somebody told them. So, yeah, that's how easy it was to kill him. And his death was a little disappointing. I will say that. But it makes sense how he died because that's pretty much the only way we could have killed him. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. Like, I don't think I think he's dead because since his brain and everything was hooked up to that, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead, but who knows? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Did Harley Sawyer actually die in Chapter 4? Harley Sawyer, also known as the Doctor, serves as the primary antagonist in Chapter 4. Once a brilliant...
Yeah, and he barely did anything, just like the rest of the antagonists. Like, I mean, he did more than Catnap did, but still.
Yet reckless man, Sawyer played a leading role in Playtime Co.'s Bigger Bodies initiative. However, as his experiments...
I mean, if I had to say which characters got the most screen time this chapter, I would say, like, Sawyer, because he talked a lot. Doughy especially, and yeah, that's it.
Decisions grew increasingly dangerous. He became too valuable to lose and too dangerous to eliminate. To maintain control over his knowledge, Playtime Co., led by Leith Pierre and Dr. White, transferred Sawyer's consciousness into a digital form. Now existing as the Doctor, he became the factory's central intelligence, overseeing its
Oh yeah, speaking of Sawyer, I saw a lot of people complaining that his main body wasn't in the game. I don't think there was ever supposed to be a main body, to be honest, and I'm not the only one who thinks that, and one of the developers basically confirmed that there wasn't supposed to be, but yeah, it was basically confirmed that he was never supposed to have a main body, and that was just one of his minions we saw in the trailer, but I could see why so many people thought, he would have a main body.
Operations and experiments from within the system. Throughout Chapter 4, we undergo a series of survival-based tests planned by him. These include locking doors to contain hostile critters in the prison test, retrieving batteries while evading Baba Chops, and ultimately facing Yarnaby, who the Doctor claims as his personal pet. Each one of these trials builds towards the final confrontation, where the Doctor is seemingly defeated after the Omni chip is forcibly removed from him. Once losing control of the system, he explodes and everything turns black. But did the Doctor really die? As we ascend in the construction elevator, we enter a dimly lit hallway filled with glitching monitors, a detail heavily emphasized in Chapter 4's trailers. What we see suggests that there is instability within the factory's network, foreshadowing the Doctor's presence still lurking within the system. When we reach his headquarters, we are suddenly attacked by one of his minions, a Sarlie Hoyer, throwing us down into an unknown location. With a flashlight in our hand, we traverse this new area and quickly realize that this
I've been seeing a lot of people complain about this boss fight, saying it wasn't that good. I would have to say that this is one of my favorite parts of the game. Like, looking back at it, I think this is one of my favorite parts. Yes, I do agree that his boss fight could have been better, but it's still one of my favorite parts. So, yeah.
Location is a maze. We must insert batteries into their corresponding compartments, which opens their gates in order to progress. Throughout the sequence of events, Sarlie minions appear in 3 different states. The first one is inactive. These minions are non-hostile, as we can see a majority...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mauve intentionally, made us think in the gameplay trailer that they would be, weeping angels. Because if you guys remember, in one part of the gameplay trailer, they show one of the broken minions like this, and I'm pretty sure they were, they intentionally were, tricking us into thinking that it was going to be a weeping angel situation, when in reality, it doesn't matter if you look at them or not, so...
of them are broken, as they have a blank black screen. The second state is rebooting. These have to warm up before attacking, and we must pass by them in order for them to activate. And this explains why they have a yellow display before attacking. Which brings us to state 3, which is active. These immediately attack us, hence their red monitor screen. After navigating the maze, we emerge to the doctor's location, where we meet him face to eye. With the Omnichip now accessible, the doctor makes one last desperate attempt to stop us by activating all of his remaining minions at once. As his system crashes, his monitor violently explodes, seemingly marking his death. Yet his final words are
Oh my god. Man, 2 unskippable ads, like, bro.
significant to us.
Saved.
Yeah, the fact his last words were "you saved nobody," like, no one, kinda caused me to believe that he would come back, because it seems like he knows that he's not gonna die, or something like that, but, I don't really think, like, that's what he meant. I mean, I kinda think that, but at the same time, I don't. Like, he could've just been saying that, like, just to say that or something, I don't know.
So, did we truly defeat him? Or did we simply shut down one aspect of his presence? Let's look at the evidence we have. During one of the doctor's tests, we encountered containers filled with frozen preserved body parts, lungs, and a brain. To proceed, we have to overload the containers with electricity, causing them to explode. Once we're finished, the doctor reacts with frustration. His words to us suggest that these body parts may have held a greater significance than what meets the eye, possibly being the body parts of his original body. However, one body part is never found, the heart. If these pieces truly belong to Sawyer, the absence of a heart raises another question. Was it stored separately? Could Leith Pierre and Dr. White have anticipated that if someone or something were to try and destroy Sawyer, if they never got his heart, they would...
I mean, I could imagine them doing something like that, knowing how Playtime Co. is and Leaf Pierre and all that. I could imagine them doing that, but I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that, because that's actually a high possibility. So I'm not gonna deny it, but I still don't think he'll come back. But if he does, then, well, cool.
not be able to fully eliminate him. This could allow his consciousness to still remain intact. Unlike other experiments, the Doctor is not a physical being. He is a digital consciousness integrated into the factory systems.
It looks like he's waking up. Dr. Sawyer.
White? White, is that you? Who else is in there with you? You enjoy watching me rise like one of them?
Who gave you the order?
I gave the order, Sawyer. Let me tell you how this is gonna go, Sawyer. From now on, you're here to give the lab boys answers when they need them, and carry out procedures when and how we tell you to. That's it. So fight, or give in, or whatever. Because either way, we own the infrastructure you're wired into.
This implies that the Doctor's knowledge and consciousness was distributed across Playtime Co.'s network, rather than contained in a singular location. Since the Omnichip granted him control over the factory's operations, it doesn't necessarily mean its removal is what killed him entirely. Instead, it may have only severed his direct influence over the facility's functions, while leaving his core consciousness intact elsewhere. Also, Leith and White specifically chose to fuse him into their systems rather than eliminate him, implying that they may have had failsafes in place to ensure his survival. If he could be destroyed so easily, what would have prevented previous threats from shutting him down long?
I guess no one has ever tried to shut him down until now.
ago. If they went to such extreme lengths to preserve his knowledge, it is reasonable to assume they implemented backup protocols. His consciousness may still exist in fragments across the network, waiting for an opportunity to resurface. And lastly, what if we only shut down his power grid? Throughout Chapter 4, the factory relies heavily on power grids and backup systems, hence the batteries we place into their consoles. Given that the Doctor is described as the brains of Playtime Co., it is possible that his explosion was not his true destruction, but rather a strategic failsafe. It was a way for a period of time to shut him down, giving time for him to restart the mainframe, his CPU, or even his backup hard drive. He says to us in his final moments, "You've saved no one." If he had truly been destroyed, why would he claim that our efforts were meaningless? This statement implies that his presence was not fully erased, and he may still exist in some capacity. Consider his earlier warnings. "I will bury myself so far, no one will find me."
Bury myself so far down that no one will ever find me. Not you, not the prototype, not anyone.
Could he have transferred himself into an inaccessible part of the system? If so, his CPU could still be active, lying dormant until the right conditions allow him to return. So, did we really kill him? Or was this some sort of dramatic exit that Playtime Co. put in place to make us think we did, to let our guard down in the labs for Chapter 5? If he does return...
Well, here's my opinion. If he actually does return in Chapter 5 or something, that would kind of ruin Chapter 5, because I just want it to be about, like, the main focus to be about the prototype and all that, him to, like, the prototype to be the main threat and all that, and I don't really want Sawyer to, like, be around during that, since he'll probably, like, have more screen time and all that, so, yeah. So, yeah, I just want it to be us, Poppy, Kissy, and Huggy, and the prototype, like, not Sawyer. So, yeah, but but if he actually does come back at all, it could be in a spin-off, but, yeah. But, like, if he actually were to come back in Chapter 5, I really hope they don't put it in a trailer or anything. I really hope they keep it, like, well hidden and until the game comes out, so it will be a surprise. Like, I really hope they don't, like, just put it in the gameplay trailer or something like that, how they did with Nightmare Huggy with the second Chapter 3 gameplay trailer, and Kissy in the Chapter 4 one. Like, I really hope they don't do that with Sawyer. So, yeah, if he actually does come back, but, yeah.
Could he be even more powerful than before?
I mean, if he does come back and he's in the labs, then I imagine he would be more powerful, and he would obviously be pissed at us that we did that, because just because he would still be alive, that doesn't mean he wouldn't be mad at us for doing that, so...
Well, maybe the Doctor isn't gone. Maybe he's still watching, waiting. Every flickering monitor, every corrupt file, every unexplained glitch, he's still there, buried in the system. After all, programs don't...
I mean, if that were the case, does that mean, like, the prototype would bring him back or something? Since that would mean he's not completely dead, and it's just, his consciousness is still there. Like, would the prototype have to bring him back, or what?
Die. They just go dormant.
So, yeah, anyways, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Sawyer is gonna come back at some point, or do you guys think he's gone for good? Me personally, I think he's gone for good, but it's still possible that he'll come back. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all.